Good morning, good afternoon, welcome everyone. Just as always, another tidbits, another time that I'm joined by my co-host Sartlad. Hello, Sartlad.
Oh yeah! I have one shirt lad here.
Today,
Hopefully my audio is not being goofy as last time, and yeah, sorry for interrupting you.
oh, you're perfectly fine. Today we're gonna be covering, as you can see behind me, the Dylan Assault Armor and the full custom, a double special. Who would have guessed? Well, the reason why is covering every single member of the family of the G-Line, it would take a long while, and honestly, covering both units at the same time felt a lot more natural. So we're going to be starting from the lower cost, okay, the G-Line Assault Armor, and we're going to be moving up to the full custom. There's not going to be complete gameplay as always, because it's 2 units and it should take too long. But we're going to cover the basics and how the skills work really well together, on top of their counters and everything along the way. Any opinions on the 2 units, Sertalad?
Well, I've ran a couple matches with the G-Line full custom lately, and yeah, seems like a fairly solid unit. As for the assault armor, I've been using that one for a little longer, though. Admittedly, I do not tend to use the shield tackle as often as I should. That's for sure.
Speaking of the shield tackle and the unique skills, we're gonna be looking. Oh, that is the wrong one. This is the right one. There we go. We're gonna be looking really quickly. I should clear up the two G lines from the top so that we can see everything. But we're gonna be starting off strong with the G line assault armor, a 400 cost raid unit that can go both on ground and space. At 14,500 health, 15 ballistic, 15 beam resistance, 22 melee resistance, 20 range strength, 20 melee strength with the +1 from the ADPA, 115 movement speed, 190 top speed, 65 thruster gauge +1 again with the propellant tank, 54 turning speed, 13 closed, 11 medium, and 4 long range slots. Again, another +1 from the complex expansion slot. On top of that, it has enhanced steel structure level 1 and level 4, which should increase its total health by about 600, if I'm correct, maybe 1,100. And another ADPA level 3, which I think it's a +5, another +5, so its melee strength would go to 26. So let's go look at its weapons really quickly. Its primary is the assault armor shotgun at 80 power, but remember it has shrapnel, so do not be confused by its low damage. 6 rounds.
Of course, if I may. The shotgun, oddly enough, does kind of behave like the Spaz 12 or the M4 Super 90 behaves in a lot of games. Which, is somewhat neat given its shape.
That is fair.
And of course, this mobile suit packs a heat lance, which is admittedly a little cumbersome weapon, but once you get some practice with it, it can be fairly lethal. We also get some head-mounted Vulcans, which is always nice, especially with the G lines, and of course, some of its very visible weapon. Another one of its very visible weapons, the cannon. Of course, the shield, since it has a shield tackle skill.
Let's look at the skills really quickly now, shall we?
Alrighty then. As you can see, it has a high performance balancer, which is of course a very good part of any raid's arsenal. An astounding free hit combo system. Well, free hit combo courtesy of the melee combo controller level 2. An offense system, which that always comes in handy given how given that the downswing with the heat lance is a charge, so getting stunned off of that would not be very nice. Of course, we also get the maneuver armor, an explosive reactive armor, and back for space. And since it's level 2, it also makes you turn faster. We get some leg shock absorbers, anti-blast stabilizer, the aforementioned shield tackle, assault booster for quicker jumps, damage control, of course, and the shield break stance mastery, which, yeah, that's pretty neat.
On top
And
of that,
generally, that makes this combination of skills very good for keeping the G-Line assault armor alive and moving.
on top of that, the G-Line assault armor comes with level 3 melee priority, like most raids do at this point. But it is very well comboed together with the combination of, well, ironically, it's a melee combo controller and offense system. You know, all of those skills when it comes to meleeing, the G-Line assault armor, although at first it might appear as a shooting unit, especially with if we go back the assault shotgun, where it has pretty much a fast fire rate, 12-second reload, and 6 rounds. It has a very short range, but it builds up stun really quickly. On top of that, you have the cannon with 450 range, and it's all in instant, 2300 power, a 5-second cooldown, and 12-second reload. You'd think that this unit is more of an artillery and a mid to close range unit, but the moment that you go into pure melee, as it shows here, it becomes a threat. Not only do you have to worry about having to build up a stun a lot more with damage control and maneuver armor on top of offense system, but breaking it's already better than most sealed at 4000 health. With shield break stance mastery will not matter. The shield breaking will not stun it. And bazookas will not work either if you try for a purely splash damage by hitting the ground or nearby walls. You're gonna have to work a bit more to stun this unit from a distance, and you're gonna have to be very careful when you're around it in close distance. That's my belief on the unit. What do you think?
Yeah, well put. Since it aside from the cannon, it is somewhat similar with a shotgun and a fairly heavy melee weapon. You could draw a bit of a parallel to something like Dutch Knight's Custom Ifrit from the side stories.
And not only that, but it also does come with a unique counter which drops enemies down for a bit of a duration, which is the 3 strikes with the hit lance, which makes it also for a really good damage after a shield tackle. Overall, the unit is, although it might feel cumbersome at first, once you get down to how, well, heavy its armor is for what it is, you realize that this unit is a lot better than most other units in its native cost than most people give credit to it. Land your shots, easy stun for your team and you, and you can even counter a range play a support to get close, making it a very useful unit to have both in the front lines and breaking through the front lines to go kill a support. Speaking of a support...
Indeed.
Segue.
Speaking of a support, we're done with this one yet? No.
Yeah.
Seems very fast, but I'll take it. It's alright.
We're looking at the G-Line full custom, a sibling unit to the rest of the G-Lines. The full custom feels a lot closer to a general rather than a support, but we're gonna cover it in a moment. A 450 cost support that can go both on ground and space with 17,500 health, 18 beam and ballistic resistances, 12 melee, 25 range strength, 20 melee strength, 115 movement speed, 175 top speed, 55 thruster gauge, 57 turning speed, turn close, 11 medium and 11 long range slots. As you can see already, it's a pretty flexible unit for a support if you ask me. On top of that, it has anti-ballistic armor enhancement level 1, anti-beam armor reinforcement level 1, 80 FCS, which increases its shooting performance by a +1, complex expansion slot for a +1 across the board on the slots, level 4 anti-ballistic armor enhancement, So +5 to your ballistic resistance, if I remember, or +6, and same with the 80 FCS. So already it looks very promising for a 3-star at 450 support. Let's look at its weapons. For a primary, it can switch between the shotgun that we saw earlier and the heavy rifle that is served by the G-Line light armor.
Light armor, yep.
1400 power, 50% hit rate, 325 range, 1 second cooldown, you can fast fire between shots, 18 second overhit and 4 seconds focus, but gains range and power. Spicy.
Yes.
For its melee weapon, we're looking at its small twin beam saber times 2 at 2100 power. That is not bad at all. And if we look at its next weapon, the head-mounted Vulcan late model, again, just like its sibling unit, the G-Line Assault Armor at 67 power, 30 ammo, 150 range, and 0 seconds cooldown, because it's just Vulcan, so why would it have cooldown, and 6 second reload. And the twin beam cannon times 2, 1000 power. Remember, 1000 per beam cannon, so it's technically 2000 power in total, 70% hit rate, 500 range, 4 second cooldown, 18 second overheat. Again, pretty promising if you ask me. Let's look at its skills.
Of course, I'll take it from the top. So we got the high performance radar, as is usually common amongst the supports. This one has a level 2, which is always nice. We got an observational data link. Once again, a fairly common support skill. On top of that, an aerospace gimbal for space. Some leg shock absorbers, level 2, just like the one. Hold up, let me see. I wanna check whether was it the same level that the. Oh yeah, the same level as the assault armor had.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious, so I had to check on that. Of course, we have the explosive reactive armor, oddly enough, for support in this cost bracket. Then there's a high performance balancer, which of course is a skill more common amongst the generals and the raids, with the first support I can think of in this cost having this skill as well, being the Gelgug Jaeger. Of course, it also has MBAC for space, which is nice, since, I don't think anyone would want to stumble with this thing, given its other skills. Especially the melee combo controller level 1. That's right, this thing has one of the most prominent skills that that generals have, which is 2 melee swings. And especially with these small twin beam sabers, which kinda act in the same way as, correct me if I'm wrong, Telos, does the, if I recall, there's one more unit that has a very similar melee weapon and a very similar moveset, but his name keeps escaping me.
It's difficult to say because I cannot think off the top of my head which unit has a very similar melee combo as the twin scythes, but I can tell you that for sure, due to them hitting in a vertical line over the unit, it can knock units from out of the air, so it makes them really useful overall. Those twin scythes have a good chunk of coverage, and they do a lot of damage even when you do not have any modifications on the unit. It doesn't have a special counter per se. It has a knee to the gut and the double axe handle to the back of the unit, or a high kick when you're in space. Obviously, most units that have counters that the ground slam, you have high kicks in space. But other than that, the unit, although it might not appear as too complicated or just too simple in comparison to others, it's actually a pretty good unit to keep in the front lines if you want to have a borderline general as a as a support.
So more or less the reverse of the Canon Nemo. I don't mean the Nemo cannon, I mean the Nemo with a cannon.
Oh,
Which,
Nemo 3.
yes, that is a mouthful. Oh, not that one, in fact. The standard demo.
Oh, you mean with the
but
money
with a
cannon, the
cannon.
170
Oh, yeah.
millimeter or the 180? I don't remember. Either or.
Yep.
We call that the money cannon, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, that is a fair point. It plays kind of like a general, but not a general. The explosive reactive armor is a very useful skill because, again, bazookas that do not hit you directly will not stun you, and that's always a pleasant thing. Unless the heavy stagger, because heavy staggers ignore everything. Except active guard. Overall, that's pretty much it. There's not going to be really any gameplay because covering both units at the same time was meant to be just a quick and easy way to see really quickly what they have going for them. They are a relatively simple units. There's not much to go over and over and over again to prolong those videos, but they were overall simple and quick. Thankfully, the G-Line Familia comes with very simple units that I think that we can all appreciate and enjoy. Once again, those two units are absolutely gorgeous by my standards. And I love the UC 0081 the Senki game, so they hold a special place in my heart.
I mean, who wouldn't? It is a genuinely fun game.
Any final thoughts before we head out, Turtlead?
Not really. You basically summed it up in a way where it's rather hard to add anything more.
Well, I don't know if I should be glad or not. Regardless?
And yep. Regardless, as always,
we're gonna see you all
next time.
Have a good day, people.
Shirtlet signing out.